Secretary. my hand, before we went on break, we were talking about new projects that have dropped during COVID-19, and I got something to crank ride to. Y'all better stay tuned. Crank ride coming soon. There might be a fans after dark crank ride tonight. What you think, Gigi? On the way home?
Yeah.
I think it's a thing. I think she's stalking the camera right now. I think when we first got the link of the first
Man, it's on all three of my phones.
the first leaked songs, I get an inbox saying, "Where's the rest?" Like I control what is leaked or not. So then
This one wants to tease.
he wants to put us in a group chat to ask us how we feel about
You
it.
know what I mean?
The very first thing they say is, "Where's the rest?" No, I loved it. It was nothing respectful. It was straight. Why would you do this? We need the rest. Like, I need all of it. When do we see y'all live? Like, I'm in the band now. Like, they were ready. Look at her. You felt disrespected, G.
Listen, cause you listen. You hear how the voice got all high and whatnot. Okay,
Got squeaky and everything.
Exactly, because that's how I felt at the moment. You know, you going to spring these two little tracks on us and you know expect us to be satisfied, like, huh? That's not how that goes.
She need a moment to herself.
Angry.
I'm not angry anymore.
Right, you sure?
Yes, because
Okay.
I got the rest of it.
There you go.
Rest of it.
Yeah, and the CD.
There you go.
Ask you to put it all in.
You alright?
I brought it back.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sweating over my top.
Oh, it's because you were angry.
I think it's amazing how folks are still on CDs, because I am. You know,
It makes it still personable.
Yeah,
A link,
definitely.
you can shoot to anybody. But if I gotta pull up on you to get this from you in person, it's like, nigga, you know I support you, right? Like, let me get that up off you. And it's like we're pushing y'all because I know what it is to like start from what seems like nothing, but just maybe one or two people that really believe in what you're doing. But if everybody brings that one or two, now y'all got 20. You get what I'm saying? But then to start putting CDs in the hands of people like, hey, how you doing? Like, check this crank out.
Thank you.
Yeah, see, here she go again. Let me take her CD because she's not going to give me that one back. Because the way she grabbed it.
She's sitting next to the back.
But it makes it more personable. And honestly, my vehicle still has a CD player. Like, I'm not 2020, 2021 vehicle equipped. My whole goal is to pay off what I have because there are other things that I need and want to do with my money. So I can pop this in and crank ride, and I don't have to worry about plugging in the USB, hoping that I don't hit a button and erase everything on the USB. Now I'm listening to the stupid radio, which I hate because I wanted to crank on my USB. No, I got my CD.
But Telly's the reason why y'all got the CDs. He
We was gonna pull up.
insisted.
Don't worry, we
They
was
had
gonna
the CDs
listen.
done.
We were gonna pull up wherever y'all were and record our own CD, our own video footage.
You know, the youngins kept trying to tell us that nobody don't listen to CDs no more. So for the first couple of weeks it was, and then Telly was, like he said from day one, was like, nah, we need to get CDs. It's still people want CDs. But we should have known better.
It's a musical flyer.
People buy CDs from Wood and all them places all the time, so we should have known better. But we got them now.
And you control it yourself because it's yours. So if somebody pops up selling your CD, you have the right to pull up on them and run down on them. Run me my money. I ain't all the copies you got in my CD. Like, we not even gonna play with it. Like,
Well, if they selling this one, they dead wrong because we giving it away.
I'm just saying, people will try it though. Some people may not know you're giving it away.
Even with the clothing stores, we tell them just, you know, somebody buy something, give them it, you know what I mean? Don't put nothing on it. So I'm hoping that nobody ain't gonna put nothing on it. Just let it go. Let it go. They putting something on it.
All I'm saying is you are in control of your own when you do it yourself.
I mean,
And
you
I
always
think it's
send
dope.
mystery shoppers.
Right.
I'm just saying, you can.
Yeah.
You can always send mystery shoppers, somebody in there to go buy something and ask about the CD, and if they get, that's $10 for that CD, then there it is.
Right.
You got your answer.
Especially when they're making their own, because you see I say biggest day free.
It does.
So they probably making their own covers.
Right.
That another thing it shows that we really about our people versus us trying to make a political move in a time like this, where everybody is coming up on so much stuff. Like, we want to let people know that we appreciate y'all through the whole pandemic because it's more personal, it's more upfront. People feel like they're connected with you versus online and typing back and forth. Somebody like, here you go, come see
Words
me.
can get
You seeing them, you talking to them, like, yeah, I'm gonna come. Because online, you know, some of them people don't acknowledge you. They don't even reply to some of your stuff. They be like, hey, what's up? They down 400 comments. They never reply to, hey, where y'all playing that D, Greg? You never reply to them. You know what I'm saying? We take the time out to try to reply to everybody. We try to talk to everybody. We try to reply to everything because people, it's personal. And connecting with the people, to me, is better than online and trying to keep on. I mean, it's useful, of course, because of technology, but I like to get on the streets like we used to back in the day, man. Putting signs up. Right. Tell you, remember? You putting up the signs? Yeah, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning?
Signs are illegal now.
Flyers, actual flyers, 5,000 flyers. Me, you, Steve, going to these clubs.
The police actually go around snatching posters and stuff.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't actually do it anymore.
They go around snatching posters from off of telephone poles and everything. Pulling them up out the ground. Yeah, all them signs that people put to sell their homes or cars or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, especially in PG County, I've witnessed police officers,
wow,
especially on Central Avenue, snatching them up out the
It's a
ground.
celebration.
Yeah.
Sip, sip, sip.
So let's get into the new project.
Absolutely.
What inspired the new project? What made it so important to drop it during COVID-19? Like, for me, I know why it would only make sense to drop it right now. But for y'all, what was the logic? What was the thought process? By the way, of course, we were locked and loaded during the entire live. I think we had more fun than y'all did. I believe we did. I think we did. I think we did.
That's what's up. Well, for the project, we had already started it before the pandemic hit. It was already in the making. So once we already got the work in, we wasn't going to stop because of it. Took a little sit back, but we got back onto it. So we just kept the plan going forward. And the idea was to get it, we want to get our stuff in people's hands and ears as much as possible because, we don't play as much as other bands. We don't want to play as much as other bands, but we want to be heard.
Right.
So,
So you don't want a weekly?
Weeklies are cool, but no, not definitely.
Okay. Supply and demand. Create a demand, and then you supply the crank, and then you go duck, and you create it again, and then you serve them. Like, good junkie mentality. Good junkie mentality. Yeah.
I think a weekly would be great, though. At least once a week. I'm not saying twice a week.
I think a monthly would be dope.
I think a weekly would be great.
I think like a sexy brunch would be dope.
A weekly would do me great.
Right.
Did you say right?
A weekly would do her right. You heard her.
If you plan every week, I think they start getting tired a little bit. Like,
What?
they'll start getting tired of you playing the same stuff every week because you're gonna play some different stuff every week.
What? I don't get tired of Junkyard every week.
You a Junkyard fan? You a junkie, right?
I'm a Junkyard fan. I don't get tired of Junkyard.
I think it's more so we do a lot of our own business. You know what I mean? So
They promote it, they throw it, they try not to have to deal with promoters.
So if we want to deal with them, but coming out the gate, they didn't think that the number that we were saying was worth it. So we had to independently move, which I'm glad that's what we had to do. I love it. You know what I mean? I like to just get in the mud and get whatever we gonna get out the mud, and then they respect it more once you do it that way.
Can't nobody say they gave it to you either.
Absolutely. So the weeklies is like if you're throwing it out your own pocket. See, a lot of people, they do weeklies, and I'm not talking about everybody, but sometimes you have a weekly, right? And then one week you got 100 people. The next week you got 20. The next week you got 200.
It's a gamble.
The next week you got 25.
It's a gamble.
So if you space it a little bit, maybe you get 150 every time, or 100 every time. And a lot of people, you're not going to think like that if you're spending somebody else's money. But if you're spending your own money to do these shows, then you want your people to consistently be there. So if you space it out a little bit, it's more like an event instead of something that they could say, I ain't got to go this week because I know I can go next week and catch it. So business-wise for us, it makes more sense to, because we do our own business, to shuffle it around and find different spots. But we're trying to get to a point where, and find somewhere where it makes sense to do a weekly. You know what I mean? But if we doing a weekly in somewhere that every other band in the city does a weekly too, you know what I'm saying? It's like, we're trying to find a spot that's, if we can find something that's a virgin, that would be the best thing. And we bust it, you know what I'm saying?
We bust it.
Yeah.
A virgin and we bust it.
He's trying to pop that cherry.
Yeah.
You understood what he said? He said what he said.
Yeah.
The way he said it.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
He said what he had said.
Absolutely he did.
The way he had said it.
That's what he meant.
So Tally, you thought you was ducking? You not ducking. What in your mind said we gotta put these CDs in people's hands? Like, why were you so adamant about it?
People still buying CDs.
Talk to the people.
People are still buying CDs.
Right.
And then, me and Wood is cool. I know Woody for a long time. So if he's still doing business, people buying CDs, so why can't they get them from us? Why can't we do it? You know what I mean? I know everybody got these little, what they call them, thumb drives and all that. Now, we was going to go that route as well, but you know what I'm saying? I don't want to go spend all this money on thumb drives just to put 8 tracks on there. Then you going to do with the rest, with the thumb drive you want to do. You might erase my shit, you know what I'm saying? As well, I'm saying to use my thumb drive. So I'm saying, so now you got my thumb drive with your bullshit on it.
So make them pay for the thumb drive.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but during this time right here, we just giving the music away. You know what I'm saying? This is our appreciation to the fans. Thank them for doing what they do. Come see us when they can. You know, it is what it is. I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to push it out there regardless. We already 400 done, so we got 200 more to go. So that'll tell you something. Somebody walking around here with a CD. So we're going to get it with you or without you. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it.
Vanna Black, ladies and gentlemen. Vanna Black. But go ahead, Telly. I'm sorry. So, just so you guys know, I appreciate this. The link is on my phone, and probably because I haven't simplified my phone, so I have to go all the way through my files and then type it. Like I don't use my phone for music. So actual hard CD.
That was his point.
That was another reason.
It's for people like you.
If you see the CD sitting in your seat,
listen, I'm 1996, 97. Like, I still got a box of cassettes downstairs.
Yeah.
I still think a dude looks fresher in a plain white tee, some jeans, and a poppin' shoe. Like, you don't need a rocker, everything, a nice hat. Like,
how about that?
Yeah, I'm still a plain Jane 97 kind of girl. So,
Talking about
like,
the 90s
90s
dope boys.
I think that's why I'm single, because they don't exist anymore. Like,
They exist.
We right here.
They exist.
No.
They exist.
But if you got 100 tracks in your phone, you're not paying. One time you listen to one time, you didn't skip and
Yeah,
about your business. But if you keep seeing that CD sliding back and forth on the seat or underneath the seat, you be like, man, let me get this joint a hoop. Put it in there, then you're going to be locked and loaded. I'm trying to guarantee you're going to go, hey.
We're already obsessed. You don't have to try to go this. We are already
Luckily for me,
junkies.
I've downloaded it to all of my
All of her devices.
There you
and
go.
luckily for me, I have an Android, so I have Samsung Music. And
I mean, I have
it automatically goes
Apple
into
Music too, but I
because
just
their
don't use my phone
and
for
because
music.
their link is already
either.
labeled.
Thank you,
When I
sir.
download it and
Thank
it says Obsession, it automatically goes
Thank
into
you.
its own Obsession
I don't use my
file.
phone for music.
Me either.
She
So-
set up like Eve.
Yeah.
That's like Eve. She set up like Eve. Yeah.
Well, my phone is for business. I handle all of the emails. I handle all of the calls. I handle all of the texts. I don't have time to sit down and set my phone up specifically for music.
I didn't
When
have
I'm
to
on the
do
go,
that. I don't do it. It does it automatically.
And y'all
My
don't
phone
even, I don't
does
even
too.
download music on my phone.
Thank you.
I don't.
But for y'all
I might forget my
and Perfection
Somebody help me buy
and Black Passion and Major League, I did download music on my phone.
Respect.
But I also have a thumb drive where I'm gonna go into my iCloud and drop everything on my thumb drive so that I can plug it in anywhere I go. But when I'm on the go, I don't want to have to worry about hooking my phone up to the Bluetooth or none of that, because I have my AirPods in my ear. Even though it automatically does it, I may want to talk on the phone and still listen to the crank. I need to be able to do both at the same time, and this allows me to do that.
That's awesome.
That's the problem. I be ever trying to go for my phone and it's
Well, I
trying
might
to
be riding with you and I forget
Can't
the
do it.
CD. Hey, it's so much.
Yeah, but if somebody calls me, we're no longer listening to it because I'm talking to whoever called. That's why I have my
Let me
AirPods.
call you back.
That's life doesn't always work like that when I'm handling business.
Luckily, I have more than one phone.
Business is business. Business comes before. And if I want to listen to that crank while I'm on a business call, guess what? I'm gonna get this crank on whoever on the phone. Guess what you gonna get? This crank too. Who was that? Oh, let me tell you where you can get it from. Like, it's called spreading the love.
Yeah.
But how'd you pick the tracks that are on this project? Like, what made y'all say, all right, we're gonna collaborate these songs together and drop this as a project? Because y'all have a lot of music that y'all could have released. Thumbs Up is one of my favorites, okay? Thumbs Up, I love B-Ride, of course. That one beat be cranking like, ooh!
I can't go that fast.
I don't want this work. Listen, y'all don't want it. We're going to do a fan karaoke. I'm going to see how many band songs y'all can sing versus how many we can sing. I don't think y'all want this work.
I want that.
I don't think y'all want it. Oh, you don't want it?
No. Because I can't.
Listen.
If you get past JY and NEG and the big boys, I probably can't go with
Oh,
it. You
man.
gonna get, yeah, it's gonna get
Look, I'm
tricky.
sitting here thinking now.
It's gonna get tricky.
I may know some of the crank circuit band's music just as well as I know the big band's music.
That's because you're a reporter.
I'm not a reporter, I'm a fan.
And you go to all of these different events from all of them different
You
lines.
said you be
You
trolling.
more
right?
than a fan with all these cameras. You a reporter.
We're at work right now. This is work.
Capri see everything, trust me.
I do.
She see
Oh,
everything.
you know I do.
She see everything.
I don't miss nothing. I don't have to comment to let you know I saw it though. You have to. This is the thing. Let's get back to the 90s dope boy style. If we go back to the 90s and the dope boy style, you moved out of the way of people's view. You didn't put yourself where people could plainly see you doing the big wild stuff you was doing. Like, the niggas in the neighborhood knew, oh, don't mess with Joe, that nigga crazy. But it was never a situation where Joe was just stunting for the camera so everybody saw it. Like,
Facts.
it's different. I still operate under that mindset. Like, I will sit back and watch you act the fool and not even let you know that I saw you. But when I see you, I'm just gonna look at you like, nigga, really?
I know.
Really? Like, I'm not even, I've learned that some people, COVID-19 has exposed a lot of mental illness. People have, it didn't, I don't think it created it. I think what it did was it brought to the surface what people have hidden from other people. And when you have a lot of idle time and an idle mind, what is that? The devil's playground. Yep. So all of the things that you've been hiding while performing and releasing on stage, all of that is starting to come out and manifest and people get to see it. And what a lot of these bands don't understand is that as fans, that affects whether or not I want to come see you for me. It affects it because if I see you lunching like this and I come to a show and you lunch like this, then I'm going to feel like you don't value my money.
Or it gives us something to talk about when we get here.
I mean, they won't do that anyway. These big wild lovers on social media, y'all some wild lovers. Y'all like, some of y'all are grandparents and wild lovers. Like, when do you unwild your lover? Like, when do you chill?
Wow, Joe.
Yeah, you a pop out here tripping. And a mom and you out here dropping it low and popping it. But get mad at your granddaughter because she say bad things. Like, you guys, it's a double-edged
Y'all talk
sword.
those bad things.
I mean, but what made y'all collab with these songs?
Oh,
What made you say I need all of these together?
all
What
of
made
it
y'all
together.
see-
It was a collective effort. Of the
Okay.
whole- one, me and this guy, all the three of us, we stay in communication, planning out what we want to do, setting goals, and then after that, D, runs it with the band, and they weed out, makes to see if our plan work. Once they figure that out, then it's all self-explanatory. But we talk it out first. We talk it out first. Go from there.
Like the Grace Jones, it's these different. That's Keish.
Yeah, that
She'll
was
come
Keish.
and say, "I want to do this." You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And then what we did was we tried it one way, and it's like that ain't gonna get it. And then it's like, if we gonna do this, because this has been done by the great Juju, you know what I'm saying? Like we gotta do something with it. We gotta put some type of obsession twist on it to make it not be straightforward what it was when Juju and them done it. You know what I mean? Because you gotta respect the game. You gotta try to amplify it or do a little more to it. But that's Keish. Keish comes with their songs, and we try to find a way to put up underneath of her soulfulness this crank that can still attract a 25-year-old. That's part of the game. Like Keish come with, like, they don't know what they listening to when they listen to Slave the Rhythm, the youngins.
They don't.
You know what I'm saying? But when you get to that Slave, that end part and them toms come in, they can vibe.
They lost now
Yeah.
in the crank.
Yeah. So it's like they can vibe. But that's Keish.
Snatched it in. But let me just say, Sister Girl held it down on that live.
She did. And she had a good time. We could see that she was having a good
She was
time.
having a good time. She held her own. But I was like, hold up. This is different. Where's the rest of everybody? Where's the rest of the
Oh, you talking about the last show?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But she held it down.
But see, that was the other thing we wanted to show.
I just happened to realize after she done did a few songs that y'all wasn't there. Y'all
Yeah,
hadn't
yeah.
popped up. And then I was like, wait. Because I'm so into what she was doing that I wasn't even tripping. I was like, no.
That's obsessed though. That's
That's
obsessed.
obsessed.
Like when we break it down like that to just her, that's called obsessed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me.
Mhm.
He said, this is the obsessed part. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't disappointed, but I was just curious.
Yeah.
So what songs speak to you? Like when you hear them, do you hear pocket behind it? Do you hear socket behind it? Or do you just say, I feel it in my soul and I know that they can create behind it?
It all depends. Like sometimes I just hear something different. Because I mean, with the musicians that we have, they're able to do so many different things. And see, sometimes in our practices, we kind of shift into jam sessions. And so that's when we discover different things. Like with the Grace Jones, I knew I wanted to do it. And I knew I wanted to do it. Can you hear me?
No,
Oh, okay. I knew I wanted to do the song because I was feeling the song. And there was I can't remember the specific part that I did when we were going over. I'm like, oh, you going in that direction. Okay, we got you. And that's how everything fell into place. And we had
That's what all our
something
songs.
yeah.
That's what all our songs really.
It really was, but the way that they brought the song to life, it was like, kicked something up in me too, because go-go is art all its own, and I found myself learning more and more things about it, and these guys, they teach me, look, 808, look, keep.
I need you to stop. I need you to hold it right there.
Yeah, hold it. And I'm starting, like I said, I'm starting to learn because it is. It's something it's something that you really have to pay attention to. You can't just jump out there and do it really with any genre of music. But with go-go is a different thing. Like people will start frowning like, I wasn't feeling that. They will frown you up in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? So
it's like go-go at their ball.
I am people. I will frown you up in a heartbeat. And I don't mean to, but
But it's cool. I mean, knowledge is endless.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you have to be open
Yes.
to it because, you know, there was a time when this dude over here was like, look, you know, I heard this song, but I didn't think you were going to be into it. Well, you got to let me know. I don't know because, you know, it's certain things that I do, but I'm open. I'm open to learning, you know, and at this point in my life, just where we are now, it's like we are all like a meeting of the minds. You know what I mean? We all have something that we bring to the table, something, an individual thing that we bring to the table. You know, from Pooh to D to Red to Telly, all of us, Danny, we all have our own special thing that we bring to the table. When it comes together, it's a special thing. Like, and just in watching the live back, I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, damn. CD, damn. You know what I mean? I'm like, we really have something here. You know what I mean? Like, our unit is, you know, and then when we get together, it's like, yeah, I got you, man. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Like, yeah.
That's him. That's definitely Mr. West Coast rapper himself. I can't even call it little bread dog instead of Snoop Dogg, little bread dog.
Nate Dogg was my man too. That's all we did, man.
Love
Piggybacking on what she's saying though. So I bring the '90s kind of that era. I can bring that era to this era and mix it up to where as though they can understand it. I use my years of experience of coming in the band and go in 91, 92. Use that and be a sponge to everything off of what they do. And I sit back. And once they perfect how they want to do it, I'm usually the person that comes in and get the last minute little plugins. Yeah, that's what I do. And I try to bring the energy at all times because bands tend to, you can be cranking, but if your body language look crazy, and if your body language look crazy.
I saw a name.
I said nigga. So for us, if I go out, like, cause we're different. Like, she brings her tripod, she sets her tripod up. This is your videographer. I'm the crankographer. Because once it starts cranking, my camera is off. My phone is down. You should have been here. I'm now boogieing. Like, no disrespect. You should have paid your money at the door like I did. Right. And what we do is so crazy. We get on, as soon as they go on break, the very first thing we do is, or while y'all are playing, she'll tap me and be like, bitch, she bored. I'll be like, who bored? And I lean over, I'm like, this nigga is bored. So now we're no longer watching y'all anymore. We are honed in on the bored person. Because we like, they cranking what?
Well, look like they having fun.
Wow.
He might not get paid tonight. Maybe he didn't get paid last show. Yeah, because
when we talk about, like, yeah, we have a ball.
We're a party band.
Y'all energy has to be there. Because the thing about it is, you have to be versatile enough to go from a backyard to a wedding to a stage to maybe a stadium event. Like, you have to fit in all of those. But if you look at it, the difference in go-go and mainstream artists is you have performing artists, you have performers, and you have artists. The artists are just there to do whatever it is they need to do. Mm-hmm. They don't want to have a good time. You have some people who perform more than they sing. Like, I'm dancing more than, like, I know I can't sing live, so let me pop it, drop it, stop it. Like, let me give y'all that. But the people that have been able to marry the two,
Beyonce.
That's
Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Junkyard.
Yeah.
Junkyard.
Yeah.
And I'll even say this, even at one point in time, prime time.
Everybody look like that.
Yeah.
Everybody, like, it's like they want to be there, they have a good time. Like, when you bring that negative energy onto the stage, it spills out into your audience.
Because we're not even just talking about the front.
No.
We're talking about the back.
Let me tell you, we had New Impressions in here last week, and their keyboard player, the whole show, the whole live, we're watching him like,
he just didn't
He
look
ain't
like he
into
was
it.
having fight.
No.
We wasn't into it, yeah. And it's obvious because people like y'all can see it.
We don't miss nothing.
Can see it.
We don't miss it.
But just think how many other people in the crowd is watching it too, though. Some people in there, they trying to figure out bands, especially bands. They looking and trying to critique like, oh, they looking. So
Oh no, they're not trying to critique. They're in their whole little band group chat talking about you. That's what they doing. They pretend like they not. They might not take it to social media, but they having that convo.
That's the 2020 critique.
Yeah, we gonna be.
Checkmate. They have a keyboard player.
He boogie the whole
Man,
time.
listen. They keyboard player.
He had more party than we do as fans.
But you know, sometimes that comes from lack of not knowing the music, one.
Yeah.
And then other times, they're just thinking too hard. You know, concentrating so hard that you're taking out that element of having fun, enjoying yourself. Because I've done it. Like, I'm like trying to make sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, but you do your best when it's off the cuff. Like,
About to say, do you know that some of the best grooves and most memorable hooks in go-go have come from mistakes?
Did we talk about that? Did we just talk
Yeah,
about
come
this?
from
Absolutely.
mistakes.
Some of this, man.
Or
Yeah,
they've
go
come
ahead.
from second nature. Like if you are a fan of Northeast, a lot of their hooks came from wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of their hooks, a lot of their saying, well, it's the big sco, it's the big show.
Right.
Like a lot of their stuff came from wrestling. But you can tell that's something that they really love because as soon as he said, everybody on the stage get hyped.
Right.
It's an instant thing. But that also came from it being second nature. You get what I'm saying?
That's
a lot
true.
of these bands don't have that second nature. No disrespect to you working musicians, but if you're playing in 27 different bands, how do you develop a real cohesion with a unit
Facts.
to have that type of functionality with a band?
And that's why I said that keyboard probably had well, I need to play it different because the other band I play with plays it a little different. So let me just remember that I'm not supposed to play it that way. I'm supposed to play it this way.
Yeah,
I
but,
told myself.
I think you're right about that. Like back in the day, go-go was a lot more free. They try to I love Grown and Sexy, but what Grown and Sexy did to go-go was kind of took a little bit of the fun away. So what happens is,
You good, but
what happens is, what Buzz back in the day used to be like, I done forgot the goddamn words. We go.
And we go with crank.
And then we go and come in and that motherfucking beat get the drive. You be like, yeah, good God, fuck the words.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but that was Buzz. He'd tell you be mid-rhyme. I done forgot the goddamn words and called Wink. And that
And
shit
they were
was,
ready.
That was the
They didn't have
greatest
to
shit
get
in the
ready 'cause
world.
they stayed
but
ready.
Grown and Sexy came in and made it to where everything
the
had to
words.
be ABC.
Perfected,
You
yeah,
had
yeah.
if you did that, that was fuck that. That's why when I came back the second time and I told what I say, Slim, if I can't just be me, I don't want to do it. Don't put me in that Grown and Sexy box because I listen to Scarface all day and shit like that. That's what I do. Like so when they 102.3 a nigga. And try to tell a motherfucker he can't wear his hat in a certain club, and I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. I'm grown,
Yeah,
nigga.
we went through
like,
that shit.
Like this hat gonna make me fight something. You understand what I'm saying? So like, it took. I have to be D, and D is a retired gangster. Period. So I gotta be who I am. You know what I'm saying? And I need to bring to the stage. If I can't. Man, I was in bands and I used to feel like it was this box. They had me right there in the middle of it. That shit, and I've been in Hagerstown, every jail you can imagine. I felt like I was in jail. Like, literally, you can't do that. You can't do, why not? Why not? Like, why can't I say step out on the corner with my box of rocks? But Everett allows me to say that. Everett say, do what you want to do.
About to say
And that's
in
what makes it
2020,
work.
they glorify junkiism. Every drug on the face of this planet is glorified. Every alcohol that they can find marketable is advertised through our music. That's how they push it into our culture, into our neighborhoods, and create new junkies. So you should be able to say what you want. Go ahead.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, it just, for me, I think that's what clicked. And then I didn't really, honestly, like, go-go used to be like, for me, I looked at it as something to keep me out of trouble. I knew when I was going to band practice that the jump house wasn't going to get me that night. I knew that when I go to band practice, I ain't going to get shot. Like it was literally that. You know. So
I remember
like,
jump out days, Tuesdays and
Yeah,
Thursdays, to
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
that unmarked U-Haul
Right.
that y'all thought was
And the
just
city
riding
under
through.
siege around your neck and all that. You know what I'm talking about? So it was that.
Oh,
to
this
me.
is hard.
But this time around, I respect the music more than I ever have. Now, you know what I'm saying? Back then, it was like literally like Obsession wrote letters to the judge for me. When I got my time, I didn't get as much time because Obsession, who was managed by Steve Twyman at the time, they said, oh, he does this. He is good sometimes. It was a letter from the judge from Obsession. They vouched for my character, that I wasn't this dude that they was painting me as in that particular, time. And so I say all that to say that back then, for me, it was just something that I looked at as keeping me out of trouble. When I was cheating the game, I ain't cheating it no more. I work on it. I write. I stay, you know what I'm saying? And I think it all started with Everett setting up the structure of tracks. Tracks turned into rhymes, and then rhymes turned into the band. And it's the structure. It's the structure. And a lot of people think just because you the booga bop, that it means everything. And we don't believe that. We believe that there's more to it than that. There's more to it than cranking. You know what I mean? You gotta bring more to the table than cranking.
And what we talked about, personality, character, all that stuff makes a big difference, man.
And see, that's the balance with us on this front line. We all have something different. You know what I mean? And when we come together, it's like, he'll think of something, I'm like, okay. Then we try, I'm like, okay. And he's like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then tell him,
Tell me, why they keep paying you out to be the old grouch?
He is Oscar the Grouch.
I love him so
That's what I
much.
do. I mean, I just
Telly is Obsession from the bottom of his feet
Yes,
to the
he
top of
is.
his head. He's been around Obsession longer
He
than
grabbed me in the band. He
not
grabbed me in
E,
the
but
band.
I was outside of E. Anybody in this room, he's been around Obsession the longest. So you ain't gonna
So
fuck
that's
that
why
name
you're a
up.
grouch?
He ain't gonna let you mess that name.
It's in his
He
DNA.
wants
To
the
me,
best for the band.
it's like this band been around for a long time, and the whole time this band been around, they always been right there neck and neck with people. You know what I'm saying? But they just could never turn that corner because everybody got their favorite. You know, they don't want the new guys to come in and then take over
I'm all
because
for
they
the new
got
guys.
buddies with them and they think.
the new guys.
Yeah, they
We
can't
know
be
it.
friends, but we look at like you can approach us at any time and talk to us. Everybody, we not no bad guys. You know what I'm saying? We just carry ourselves different. You know what I'm saying? That's how we is. You know what I'm saying? It's just like we feel like we the outlaws all the time because our maturity speaks for itself, but it seems like people out there just don't want to believe in it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I'm always like, man, this got to be right. This got to be right. Come on, let's do this. Let's do it because I'm still thinking about how everybody got their foot on that neck, like y'all ain't moving. But you have to respect it either way. You know what I'm saying?
Stan, I need you to flip the camera back on this side because I got to tell you something. I need you to understand what I'm finna say to you. Because I have this conversation with every band that comes through this studio, and I want you to hear me. That crabs in a barrel mentality is not a thing. A barrel has a bottom too. If you can't get out through the top, kick your way out through the bottom.
Right.
Because once you make your own way, I don't care how you do it. You saw how successful the Underground Railroad was, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't. Sometimes you don't need them to get to where you go.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
the thing about it is, Go-Go has right now. Go-Go has a level playing field. I don't care how anybody feels.
Yeah, right now, definitely is.
Nobody's playing.
Right?
Dear promoters, y'all ain't making no money right now. Not all for Go-Go.
That dude's not good.
Go-Go has a level playing field. It is no foot on anybody's neck.
But not right now. But I'm just talking about before that.
Right.
Before
So
that.
what I'm saying is now
Yeah.
is when you strike. That's when you get out here with this
See,
music.
that's
That's
why
why
we
you
do
pull
that.
up on these DJs when they
Like you
doing they
said.
live and you put this CD in their hands so these people can see
That's
you
what I say,
doing
we
it.
move different.
Yeah,
We not
that's what I'm
begging nobody
saying.
for no show.
You can't. Why
You know
for what?
I'm saying?
For what?
And
What you begging them for?
Because
That's
I'm just
how we look at
asking
it.
you. But what are you backing them for?
Right, that's what I'm trying.
If you gotta play in somebody's, if you gotta play in somebody's backyard and knock their neighborhood walls down, then you do it.
Exactly.
You make your own way.
We've been doing that. That's why we do
Or
our
you
shows.
come here. I mean, Everett already got that offer. We're not gonna get into that on the air. I'm not gonna do that to him.
I wouldn't.
She was. This is like the 4th time.
Independent feels so good.
Yeah.
It does.
When it turns into a success.
It does.
Because you can look around and you can just say, you know what, we did that. Ain't that, no help.
And nobody can take it from you.
You can't take that from us. We did that. So
Basis
independent
of
feels so
W,
good. I love
G,
it. Leave me
N.
in the mud, homie.
That was the basis
Trust
of the
me,
WG.
just like I did in my real life, I'm gonna find a way.
And you know what grows from the mud? Greatness.
Yeah,
Gardens.
we gonna find a way
That's
to
why we
make it.
doing what we doing.
Yeah.
We appreciate the handouts that they gonna give us, but we not looking for them because we already know what we can do without you, and we've been surviving already. Going on what, a year some change since we been back.
And
So
we're willing to
we
work
cool.
with anybody to the point where we really like promoters. Like you look in the camera, you say promoters. We will split the bill. That's how much we believe in ourselves. Like we've literally said, man, we can get together and do something. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't. Like,
They honestly don't need you.
right? They don't.
No disrespect.
They don't need me, and we.
No. I'm saying you don't need them.
Right.
No disrespect. But if it's a lucrative business opportunity for all parties
Let's
involved.
get money. Let's get money.
Hello.
This is what we're trying to get. Let's get to the bag.
It's politics.
So not somewhat new, but new to the people. You see, they want to keep grabbing to these. Not saying ancient people,
Here's
but they already had that one. It's time for some new music to get out, some new faces to be to go on the go-go scene. You keep screaming these same names for the last 30-something years. It's time to let go. You feel what I'm saying? It just seems like they won't buzz. It seems like, no, we have our favorite. We're not
But
going to
it's
buzz.
not not about them budging. You have a fan base. You
Yeah.
don't need them to budge.
I'm not.
You don't need them to budge. All you need is consistency.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's all you need.
We try to stay
Find a club, play once a month, flood it. Get out the way. Flood it. Get out the way. Eventually your flooding is going to spill over into something else.
Right.
Well, to me, I think people are always looking for a new. You know, they may not want to admit it, but they are. They're looking for a new. You know what I mean?
And go-go is a little different though, because in all honesty, people are afraid to go out and spend that $25 with a new band when they can go see a band they've been seeing for 40 years who crank they know crank. And they know what they're going to get at that show. Yes, I said 40 years, I'm sorry.
Saying the same bullshit.
Capri, let me ask you a question though.
Let's go.
Who said the bands that's been playing for 30 years is still cranking them?
I mean, apparently they have a fan base. To their fan base, they crank.
She's speaking of
Yeah,
the people who consistently
Go
pay
see
that
them.
money. And
Yeah.
my thing is, I understand that. If you're, I'm not knocking any of that. That's why I
Everybody
continuously say to y'all.
crank is in the ear of the beholder.
Right.
What cranks to me may not crank to somebody else.
Right.
But I tell you right now, I can sit back and listen to a whole show and I can tell you when somebody missed their mark. I can tell you when somebody missed their cue. I can tell you where the hi-hat was open. I can tell you where the keyboards were too loud. I can tell you where your guitar player is out playing your whole fucking front line because you got them up too loud.
The key is what we always talked about when we releasing unapologetic crank. Like people come see us, they know we crank, but we got to create the sing-along. We got to create, and you know how you create the sing-along? You create the sing-along by this being in pre-con. Because then she learns the music, and when she come back to the show, she know what we gonna do before we gonna do it. We that's what we working on now. We keep working on it.
Right.
Like she said, this one-on-one, be cranking like,
Subliminal
gotta lock it in.
programming.
Absolutely. Like Hitler. That's how
When
he
you
took over
eat, I don't
Germany.
care if you're in the grocery store. We walking down the aisle where the canned fish is, and somebody says sardines. What's the first thing that pops in your mind? And pork and beans.
No doubt about
And
it.
see what I was saying about it new was just like before bounce beats came in. People didn't know that they would like bounce beats until they really got hip to it. You allowed yourself. So that's why I said when something new comes along, you don't know that that's what you're looking for until you hear it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You gotta allow yourself, and like with these CDs and stuff like that, you gotta allow yourself to listen to it.
And that young boy,
You know, and explore
TJ,
it.
from New Impressions, like I said, I didn't know anything about it. But when they did their first live, I called Everett. I said, man, these young boys, I said, they can really sing.
Let me tell you
this
something.
shit is
Impressions is
tough.
tough.
You know what I'm saying?
And they do everything.
Yeah, I
Everything.
really respect them. You know what I'm saying? I respect
everything.
And when we get these big
Versatility.
stages, and when I say big stages, I'm meaning BET, I'm meaning the documentary. It gotta be more TJ in them. It gotta be more. I don't know all of the youngers. I'm just keep saying TJ and them and New
You got
Impressions. That's
TJ, you
what
got
I've been
shooters
looking-
from ABM,
We
you had
gotta
Chris
give it to
from
them.
COB. No,
They
but
gotta
see, and that's where the disconnect comes in, and I'm gonna explain to you why. Because why? And this is a question that is asked on this show all the time. Why should anybody give them anything?
What I'm saying
It
is,
has to be earned. Because if you listen to G's interview, G said, I used to sneak into the black hole and hide in the bathroom, knowing I was not allowed to play, just to see Essence.
everybody snuck in the club.
But,
I did the same
but you
thing.
get what I'm saying. Like, it has to be earned. And there's a gap right now that needs to be bridged. There's a huge gap. It's a huge disconnect. Because the younger generation, they're freedom fighters. They gonna kick in the door like, this is our shit, we want it, we need to get it. And the older generation is like, oh no, y'all not respecting us enough, y'all ain't coming to us the right way, so you're not gonna get it. It has to be a meeting of the minds where it's understood that if you bridge this gap, which you've been working on and working for, it's gonna live longer. Otherwise, you just wasted 30 years of your life and you crank for one neighborhood.
Yeah, we cannot continue to keep putting. We gotta tell a story. We can't keep putting all of the old heads in front of the world. They gotta see TJ and them. TJ and them look like them.
They do.
TJ and them sound like them. TJ and them got
it's-
an edge like them.
It's recognition, but TJ and them, this is my thing. If TV One didn't do a documentary for you, get your production team together. The same way you keep kicking in these shows and saying y'all crank harder than everybody else, get your production team together. Put together your own documentary. Show them you can do it yourself out the mud, right?
Well, let me say this. Let me say if I had,
Mm-hmm.
I want to speak for me. If let's just say I was a big fish that's been doing it for a long time. My goal would be
To pass the baton to the
pass
next
the baton.
generation.
Hip hop passes the baton. They give it to the next. Puffy and them let the young in.
But Puffy is still making money off of what he did. He has royalties and stuff coming in. Go-Go doesn't have that longevity. So a lot of these people that you just want to pass it along,
But it got
this
the longevity
is still the way.
because
This is still the way they're eating. They don't have royalties.
it has the longevity because they was willing to let the young people in. It's been that way.
No.
They was still
I get
every
what you're
time
saying.
they did something, they throwing Curtis Blow in your face.
Yeah.
Hip hop would be dying.
Yeah.
They let them youngins in.
I get it.
Them youngins.
But
the
why-
old heads need to say.
Okay, so let's say I turn it over to a band. I got a young band they crank. I turn it over to them. They have no LLC. They have no BMI, no ASCAP. They have none of their business straight.
That's your job to show them.
No, that's not my job to show them.
I would
It's
take
not.
that on. Take
See,
that
that-
responsibility.
but see, you
if
would.
if they're really the next generation, you have to show them how to get it.
No, I don't, because you can Google how to get it yourself. It's stuff that's handed to you. If you
That's why we stuck.
No, okay. So prime example, with my son wanting to learn how to drive. Of course, I'm going to take him out to drive, but I also gave him the book to study to get his learners.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my job to test him or quiz him. He needs to study, and when he's ready for that quiz, he needs to come to me for help. There are things he can Google that can help him and push him along. My whole thing is, if they want to grow and get out of this box, and you know nobody's going to give it to you, go out there and get what you can. And then you go to them and say, look, I got my BMI, I got my ASCAP, we are registered, we have an EIN. You can put us on some of these shows for these conventions, the ones where they pay those real big checks. So you can't tell me it's not because I don't have my business part. I have to do everything that I can on my end before I can go to anybody else and expect help. Otherwise, some people are just gonna be looking for a handout the entire time.
Yeah,
They're gonna feel like all they gotta do is skate by. Oh, I'm gonna call them, they're gonna do it for them.
All the old heads in the business seem to want to suck up all of the limelight. Like
Some of them duck it though.
like what I'm saying is,
Some of them don't want that responsibility.
okay, they might not know about their BMIs and all of that, but as a go-go community, we supposed to spread information. I know they can go get it,
But what if I don't know the information to spread to you? What if it was my manager that was doing it and my manager hasn't spread it to me? I'm just a musician.
Well, then we dumb as hell. If all of them big boys that have been around the world and played in Japan and everywhere doesn't know the information by now, then we dumb as hell and we ain't never going nowhere.
And we've been spewing it for over a year.
Yeah,
and G sat in here and said himself, as youngins, we
but
had
G give back. G bring the youngins in.
He does now, but guess what? Prior to that, what did he say? We had a manager who was the big homie that was supposed to handle everything for us. And we got $100 in the school and got told to get the fuck on, and they still getting paid off our shit. Like, we had to change our name behind the foolishness that they didn't know that they weren't doing. So what I'm saying is, it has to be a situation where there has to be information that is put out there or some form of hierarchy that can help to guide. Because like even in hip-hop has record labels. They have business execs. They have lawyers that can help them through this. Go-Go is handled more like block business.
We can't get no bigger if they don't put the youth out. That's all I'm trying to say.
I agree.
If they don't start
But
putting
this
the
is
youth
their-
out,
this is
if
their
every
mindset.
time that they put something on TV about go-go, it doesn't have nothing but the 50 and 60-year-old
Chris from
dudes on
T.O.B.
there.
was up there.
Then we're gonna.
Chris?
And did they show the band? Did they
They
give
did.
them a
They
section?
showed him on stage performing. He spoke about new impressions. Like it. The thing about it that most people don't understand. Let me explain to you all about the documentary because we had Bo in here and we did an interview with him. The whole purpose of that documentary was to introduce people to go-go, to make them want to know more and to reach out and see more. Chris spoke a lot. Chris said, for those of y'all who think bounce beat is not go-go, you're tripping. He spoke. Like he spoke.
All right, let me ask you this. The BET Awards. I'm going to just line this up and then we can get all this subject.
Let's go.
If we would have went from Bear and Funk doing their thing, because that music is world renowned and we respect it, to back, and then we would have brought out them Beat Your Feet youngins doing all of them dances.
Hold on, BET wanted that.
Let me explain. I'm not saying that BET didn't want it. I don't know whether BET wanted it or not. But did any of the old heads say, I think this is what we should do? Did anybody in the old head, in the older band community?
First of all, that's one of the reasons why the youngins in the older generation don't get along, because of connotations like old head and dinosaur.
Well, listen.
I know.
Forget what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying, not how I'm saying it. What my point is that thing should have been an introduction of what we've done, moved up to probably a BYB because Game Face is so noticeable. You got to put them on, and they earned it, and then down to they was in Atlanta. If they would have brung, and I keep saying TJ and them because I don't know too much about the other bounce beat bands, but I'd be listening to New Impressions. If they would have brung New Impressions out at the end of that thing with the whole Beat Your Feet community doing all of them dances on there, and they would have dropped that bounce beat with that bass that they be doing in ATL, it would have meant way more than anything that we could have ever done. But they kept it, and even Puff took it. He shot the burn at us, right? What'd he say? DC had a chance, and they did what they was doing 30 years ago.
Well, the other problem with that is, let's even get on Tiffany Haddish. She came out with a song that was produced by someone from DC. It was supposed to be a go-go based song. Everybody dogged it, talked about it, had nothing positive to say. Instead of taking your ass into the lab and making something that you could mix down with the song and sending that link over to a DJ, showing them how you could marry the two and bring the new in. The part of the problem with go-go is nothing that anybody ever does is good enough if it doesn't get us to where they need us to be. But the other part is we all have roles we have to play to get us to where we want to be.
How old is the hottest dudes in hip hop?
I don't know. I don't listen to hip hop.
Probably 19.
Yeah, but they also got it out the mud themselves on YouTube without anybody's help.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
But-
thank you. So that's my thing.
They
Like,
just got banging hooks. That's it.
right, but they got it out of the mud
They're not
by
lyrical.
themselves independently on YouTube.
Right, but
Without
the
old head
reason
guys.
it's more of them out here than us. It's more youngins than it is old heads.
Of course it is.
So that if we don't show them, we're never going to take the next step. They have to
But
be
some of
shown.
them- but this is the thing. It has to be a situation where it has to be one of these. Otherwise, it's just pointless. Like if as a older person, I pull you up every time you do something wild. I'm like, look, youngin, like don't do that. It don't look good.
I believe
Don't
it ain't
do
a bridge. I believe it ain't a bridge. I think it's more the old heads' fault that it ain't a bridge being built. That's what I believe. I believe.
Well,
I
let me
disagree.
interject here because we keep talking about the old heads and the young heads, and then when people say the older generation, you're basically talking about the EU Trouble Funk era, and not the era in between that, because they did do their part, I believe, for the next generation, which was mine.
Right.
So, but then after that, it was the next generation, the 90s era. The 90s era.
The
What is
90s
the
was
90s?
run by JY, Northeast, Backyard.
Session.
Yeah, those were the big three in
So-
the 90s. Okay.
Their responsibility to pass it on to the next. And it didn't
So
happen.
I don't blame Sugar Bear.
But
now,
what happened-
because
what
they're
happened-
at a point where they good, and they can offer it, but
But they also
But they
have
got the
to wanna
biggest
learn.
records.
And some of them also feel like
they know
well,
everything.
if they don't come wanting my guidance or wanting the knowledge that I have, you know what I'm saying?
Why should I force it
just,
on them?
Why should I just, hey, let me teach you a little
No,
something
thank
about
you. I know everything, old
But
man.
I'm just saying,
Come
you
on,
know-
old head. I'm good.
All right,
All right.
See,
That's the part where the rebellious part come in, where
And that's why I
where
said
we
they're
like, man, you know
freedom
what?
fighters.
I'm tired of trying to tell these youngers, but we gotta
You
keep
can't
pushing
force it
them.
on them.
But you know
But-
they like that.
Yeah, but
They have that
They're
mentality.
they're
They have
indigo
that-
kids.
Y'all up next. Go get it.
camera's
Whatever
there,
it
though.
takes.
The camera
Soak
right there.
up the
The
knowledge.
camera right there.
Soak up the knowledge and go get it. Y'all up next, and we need y'all in order to push this thing.
They
to
not
the
up next. They
to
up
the-
now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bounce
you
Beat,
know what I'm saying.
Bounce Beat has their own everything.
We need
Back in the
y'all
day,
for it to go
the,
anywhere,
the
or it's
top
gonna be
the
stuck.
top bands dominated go-go. Like all of the other bands, no disrespect, were neighborhood bands. Like your neighborhood had a band that was cranking. Like Uptown had bands that was cranking. Landover had bands that was cranking. Like Chris and them was more so the Landover, Sea Pleasant, that area band. Like
Absolutely.
let's be honest about it. Like every area had their own bands. Like we've gotten to a point now where the older generation has not moved out of the way because they still making money.
I don't think they should move out of the way. I think that they should
But to
just
some
create
of
more opportunity.
but to some of them, creating more opportunity means taking money out of their pocket. Because if I
You just hit the nail on the
I'm
head.
just-
Yeah,
I'm-
that's everything. in a
yeah, I'm
nutshell.
keeping it funky. No, but that's what
That's
I was
everything in a nutshell.
But that's what I was trying to tell you.
Everything.
You're saying that they need to pass the baton, but that passing the baton is passing the buck.
And that's what they don't want to
No.
do. That's what
It's
they don't
not.
want to do. They're
To
not gonna
you,
do
it's
it.
not. To
No.
you, it's not. But if I put a younger band on that plays for $1,500 less than I do, and they crank harder than I do, what do they need me for?
So basically, you're saying there's no room out for everybody.
That's not what I said. That's not what I just said.
That's what it sounds like.
What I'm saying to you is the mentality of somebody who is still eating off of this culture is if someone else is eating, I am starving. I'm just keeping it
Well,
funky.
then we-
with
ain't going nowhere
That's
if
coming
that's
from
the mentality.
that's coming from. If people think like that, then they're insecure in their own abilities.
Well, people do think like that.
But then,
And they are promoters. Fuck it. They're promoters who only book with certain bands.
well,
They
some
not taking a
promoters
risk.
some promoters will only do that because they know they gonna put up X and come back with Y, and that's a guaranteed thing.
That goes back to the money that I was just speaking on,
Right.
right? There's some promoters who will only book with certain bands. There's some promoters who have certain clubs on lock. You can't get into that club. I talked
Right.
to the club owner. you still got to go through that promoter.
Right.
And that promoter still got to get a piece of that pie.
Right.
Which limits the places you have to play. Which then again limits your exposure. Which brings you back to the situation where YouTube is now the world's #1 record label. You want to know why? Because I don't need none of y'all motherfuckers to do it. I just need a phone with a camera.
Right.
And I need a gimmick and a hook. And I'm going viral.
That's one way. It's not really the best way to go, but yeah, that's a
work-
vehicle. There are more tools
It
out
worked for
now.
Justin Bieber.
There's Justin Bieber got the complexion for the protection.
But
It's
listen, it worked for Soulja Boy. He don't have the complexion for protection, and he's still getting paid. Like, what I'm saying is, it's not impossible. It's just thinking outside of the box and doing it different ways to make it possible. This area is condensed with go-go bands, just from, not to bring the WGNs up, but just from the WGNs, I had a list of 37 bands. 37. And I still hadn't touched every band. Because she can tell you, while we were out to eat, people were hitting my phone while we are 3 days away from the ballot being closed saying, put my band on the ballot. I'm like, you got 3 days. And if I bring this ballot down, now I have to add everybody's song that they didn't get in on the deadline. Like, that's a whole nother situation. We're going to have to try again next year. But this area is very condensed with bands, but it's not a lot of locations to play. So you got to think outside of the box. Like, let's go Cool Disco Dane. What did he do? Tag the whole city. You wanted to know who he was, didn't you? Because you saw his name spray painted everywhere. That's how you start to do it. You overly saturate the market, but you make yourself unavailable for shows. And then when you do your show, you boom that show and you get out the way. Because you got people like us that's going to be geeked on social media. Like, Obsession just dropped a new link. We are in the group chat sharing the link. Y'all listen to it. We got to figure out what we like, what we don't like. Like, it's called creating a different market. Because right now...
Yeah, tell me what you like and what you don't like.
I like Thumbs Up. Of course, One-on-One is always going to be one of my favorites. I like Beat Ride too. But I believe Thumbs Up is my favorite.
Thumbs Up is your favorite. It's my favorite.
I think that's my favorite.
I like the Beat Ride also. I like the Beat Ride.
It's not fucking with Thumbs Up. I need you to... No.
That's because it has parts to it. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Growing up as a hustler gave you rights. When you had a client, you had them for life.
Yeah. Yeah, it got
His bars.
His
I
bars.
listen. But the old and young generation is a different type of problem for us. Because I believe that it's going to be harder to get everybody to sit down at the table with real transparency. And I feel like it's some healing that needs to happen in this culture.
If anybody believes that you blessing somebody else will not return blessings your way, then they stuck on something. That's just the bottom line.
Welcome to Go-Go.
I sell clothes.
Welcome to Go-Go.
Don't pin all go-go like that.
I'm not saying all go-go, but what I'm saying to you is the mentality in go-go. Trust me, there are a lot of bands who feel like if they put you on, they're pushing themselves out the door.
I sell clothes.
I'll agree with that.
That's the politics, man.
I
agree
put so
with that.
many
I've
other
heard people
people's
say-
clothing lines and share so many other people's clothing lines through my page. It ain't never stopped me selling a shirt, a pair of socks, a sweatsuit.
People
ever.
won't get what they want.
People won't get what they want. It ain't even about it. People buy from D because they fuck with D. It don't have nothing to do about me saying Beyond Gutter. That's my homie. When he put up something fly, I'm sharing it. My nephew got a clothing line, One Up. He put up something fly, I'm sharing it.
OT.
It ain't never OT, been there, done that. He put up something, I'm sharing it. It ain't never stopped a dollar for me. So if anybody in go-go believes that passing the baton or giving somebody else or whispering something else positive to another band is going to stop your money, what you're doing is
Blocking your blessings.
you blocking your blessings.
But you can't tell them that because right now they need to eat and they hungry.
And the richer and go-go, the richer is getting richer and the poor getting poor. Meaning the big bands, they want to stay where they at. When they can pull up some of the young bands, but you're right what you said, they're not going to do it because if they on your neck and they got the crank, which is needed, they're like, nah, you know what? It's a chance that they can probably move in our spot. Politics. and a lot of the biases was going on in the go-go community.
And then
And they said,
that cheaper number makes a difference because
yeah, of course.
if I can get your band in here for, let's say, some of these bands playing for $600 or $700. So if I can get your band in here for $600 and you can guarantee me 150 people just from your followers, and I got my people that's gonna come just because they my people, and we can flood this club, I don't need them no more. I may need to bring them back to feature when things get slow, but if I can crank out with this younger band, that's how these bands think these promoters are thinking. That's why I said you have to create your own.
But that's what we on.
Yeah.
That's what we trying to do. We trying to create a way that says, you know what, let's give them a chance, because they went out and they did their own thing and they found a way on their own. That's what we're all about. So when you say that, we understand totally, because that's what we've been doing since we've been back, creating a lane for ourselves, so that the big boys will want to come and get down with us, or give us an opportunity.
And even if they don't want to, it exposes you to a whole nother fan base. Especially right now, look, the whole world is at home right now. The whole world. It's not just us. The whole world is shut down for real. Like, this is the perfect stage. Like, there is no reason, like, we discuss this all the time. There's no reason for every band in this area not to have new material. Absolutely not. You've had nothing but time to write.
Or listen to new cover songs that you might want.
Jesus Christ.
Did you say Jesus Christ?
Yeah.
How do you feel about covers and go-go?
It's okay.
That was dry.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
What dry?
No, he clobber us all the time. You know, like,
Covers have its place. Everything has its place.
I agree.
But
It can't be your main
go
focal
back
point.
to this whole argument. Cover songs don't really pay the bills. If all we need is one, and that's you and your family will get paid from cover song, from your own music, even after you dead and gone. So why keep learning? Why is your set 99% somebody else's music? Is the dumbest thing to me ever. I understand you gotta have cover music in your set to keep people engaged and flowing, but you need to have your own music.
You do. I agree.
But it has to be good. It just can't be any willy-nilly thing.
Original music is only good when a band, just like radio, continuously drives it. Because, first of all, if you hear a song on the radio for the first time, you may not even like it. But because they're constantly playing and you're constantly hearing it, now it's when you listen to it, now you know the words. How the hell do I know the words to this? I don't even like this song.
Like this
Right.
goddamn song.
absolutely, it's like what I
But
said
if a band
earlier.
brings out an original and they think, oh, they played the first damn time and it's not, they don't see the crowd moving, that's because the crowd don't know it. You know what I'm saying? They don't, okay, they can bob their head to the beat, but they don't know the words to your song because it's the first time they hear it, and then they don't hear it no more because you thought it was a flop the first time they did it. Like, no, you gotta bring it back next show. You gotta bring it back next show.
Yeah, we get
Then
fucked
once
up.
the crowd, the next thing you know, you see the crowd singing your song that's the original. Oh, shit.
What's funny is we done brought Thumbs Up back 3 times before it come. Thumbs Up is from the 90s, right?
Thumbs Up come from like 94.
Bring it back.
So it's
If it didn't catch, just keep, you know what I'm saying?
Jay-Z re-released Reasonable Doubt. That tells you everything you need to know. Period. Like, nobody, if Reasonable Doubt flew over everybody's head, and then 2 people got killed, and Jay put it back in the streets. And then Reasonable Doubt was a fire. So yeah, you cannot quit on what's yours.
Right.
You just can't do it. You're
And
absolutely
see,
right.
for me, some cover songs, you know what I'm saying? I don't really mind a band doing cover songs, but don't necessarily want a band doing cover songs for their whole show. But if you're gonna, it's like certain songs
I can
may
stay
hear,
home and listen to the
certain
radio.
songs I may hear on the radio, like I mean, damn, I can hear a go-go beat behind it. I love to hear a band hit that joint. That's just me. Some people don't want to hear go-go do cover songs at all. That's just them. But Me, I don't mind
I
a
think
cover
you can
song
always
with
steal
you.
a sample of it and turn it
I
into
don't mind
whatever it
a
needs to
cover
be.
song
That's
with you, but
what all rap is
I
right now
appreciate
anyway.
originals as well.
Regurgitated music
That's just
from the
me.
90s, hooks.
That's the reason why people go see Junkyard and still know them to this day.
It's familiarity.
They got a list
Catalog
of
of
songs,
stuff.
a catalog of
Yeah.
songs that you can't get nowhere
Rare
else
Essence.
but them.
And
Rare
guess what
Essence,
else?
back-
They also have call and response. It is call and response. There's nobody who goes to the go-go. Well, I'm not going to say nobody. Most people that go to the go-go want to get put on. They want to hear their name. It's like being on their own personal song. It's like you got your own song. It's you. You know it's you. Everybody knows it's you.
Well, you got dick riders who claim because
Ma'am.
because you
Ma'am.
said their name. Because you said their name, now they're your boy. Yeah, that's my boy. They know me. Yeah, I know
See,
that.
that's why I was getting to the point. They don't want to let the new guys in because we don't know them and they don't really know us, but they scared to approach them. That's how I feel. There's a bunch of dick riders out there. I'm just keeping it 100. You know what I'm saying?
I think people that eat McDonald's are always going to eat McDonald's. They're scared of Burger King.
That new Impossible Whopper is
That's the only thing I get from
ridiculously
Burger King. I don't eat red meat or pork. That's the only thing.
Hey, he back here nodding his head.
I didn't know we just talked about that. He was on a mission to get one.
Impossible Whopper.
Listen.
That's my shot right there, Slim.
Listen, that's the closest thing I'm gonna get to a burger.
I'm gonna tell you what else got
Silver Diner.
What?
I haven't had this.
No what?
So they ain't taking a break.
He's got
Oh yeah, we can take a break. You don't want to take a break? What you trying to run out the door?
I mean, I'm supposed to be like about 39 minutes.
Listen, light skin. This our time,
Right.
light skin. This our time, light skin.
Y'all about to take a break right
For
now?
one thing, they said this was.
You need a break?
No.
You had something to interject.
Yeah.
Well, I just, cause I hear everybody,
I would
but
throw
I
something
just,
at you,
I
but
just
I'm
feel
not
like
on camera.
at some point, like you said, thumbs up. At some point, the change in the mentality will catch on. It may be that way right now. That's why I said people don't know that they're looking for a new until they've heard it over and over and over and over again. And when people start bringing people bringing folks in, folks will catch on to that. It's just going to take one or two people to do it, but it'll happen. You know what I mean? Look where we are. Folks are starting to catch on.
Right.
Yeah, I don't
To
have to get
obsession.
threatened
You get what
anymore.
I'm saying?
He threatened me.
What?
Whatever y'all move on. Obsession was a part of it. I'm like, okay.
Like for me,
That's
the battle,
that's
the
the
battle
feeling of being
advanced
left
thing-
out. Feeling like
I
every
was
time
never
I turn
a fan
around,
of-
somebody is
Y'all was
not
definitely-
included.
I was never a fan
Definitely
of the
not.
battle advance thing because to me that creates division. Yeah,
Creates
folks are-
animosity,
Yeah, it
too.
does. It
Right.
does. And I just think that if the mentality changes where it's like there's room for everybody. You know what I mean? When that changes and it's, folks realize, okay, there's room for everybody. Our fans are always going to be our fans because we've made the stamp for ourselves. Everybody has their own stamp. You know what I mean? Like when I get in my car, I don't listen to the same thing all the time. I may be feeling having a classical type of morning when I get up. You get what I'm saying? And it's just what it is. It is just what it is. So
Yes.
folks will catch on, you know, they'll catch on, and that's just the way I feel. Now I'm learning more and more about, you know, Go-Go Nation. I'm starting to learn a little more about Go-Go Nation, but I don't think it's any different from anything else. I just think that it just takes time for folks to catch on. Once they do, you're in there. And it's just what it is.
But that's also one of the premises behind Fans from the Stands, because we get to see so much stuff from a different angle and a different point of view. Like the bands that we go see and cover, a lot of people won't venture out to go see, and we not ducking that rap. Like we're not. We've done what was the most we did? 7 shows in one weekend. 7. And they weren't free at all. But the whole purpose is Gigi has a platform, Fans from the Stands is a platform. We want to be able to help give exposure to the bands who don't normally get exposure. Like, people know Junkyard, they know Backyard, they know EU, they know Trouble Funk, they know Northeast. But then what? What's next? Because the legacy hasn't died. Like it's nowhere near dead. Matter of fact, we're transitioning into a whole nother phase where a whole nother generation of minds are falling in love and getting captured by go-go. But there are these bands that are right here that are like in crank limbo. And it's our job to say fuck that wormhole and bring them into this galaxy of crank. Like, why not share? Like, we knew y'all crank, but we needed everybody else to know y'all crank too. Like, we not ducking that rug. I'm not gonna duck it. Who do you not want to play with? Obsession. They are gonna put their foot in your ass and they are gonna go sit out back and relax after they do it. Effortlessly. With no problem. Like, and they don't care. They didn't even come to put their foot in your ass, but that's just what they gonna do. If not who, then who? Like, it just is what it is.
Hey, you know what? If it ain't proof,
Who, then who, huh? Yeah.
But it has to be a situation where these bands are not afraid to understand that everybody has their own crank.
Yes, they do.
Everybody has their own crank.
I totally agree.
Everybody has their own crank, but that's why I said these right here and becoming more personable means everything, because people connect with you on a person level. That's how you develop a fan. They connect with you on a person level. Like, they hit you hit them in a different place. And they want to be where you are. Like, they see how you are. If they can vibe with you and see how you are off stage. Because some people are different on stage and they are off stage. Like, it's a world of difference. Like, that behind the scenes, like letting your hair down. Just like, all of that makes a difference to your fans. Because if you are terrible on stage, I don't want to see you anymore. I know my value as a fan. I know that my dollars mean that somebody on that stage may not get paid that night. So if you want all your band members to get paid, you need to treat your people good.
Let me tell you why I love Obsession. One of the reasons. Besides for the crank. The front line, for one. Right?
Y'all are very...
Y'all keep the same
warm.
energy.
Yes, and y'all are warm and friendly.
You understand what I'm saying? Y'all aren't, like, the energy isn't...
Oh, shit. I'm not even... Because I already know what she finna do.
But then when your part comes...
When your part
comes, now you all... You know, give it.
Right.
I'm just saying. Now you got this spike of energy that wasn't there at first. You know what I'm saying? Y'all energy is consistent for me.
Well, I'm gonna say for me,
your energy is still consistent to me.
My energy comes not. It doesn't come just from the folks that are watching us, but it comes from the family that we created.
Right.
And with the family we created, the motivation within that, you know, like the energy that Danny and Pooh have. Danny, Pooh, Telly, that rollaton, the drum,
that whole back line.
It's they have their own thing. Just like the keyboards, the bass, and the guitar, it's motivation. Like when you hear this stuff being played back, it's like, damn. Like the energy, it comes from within. Like right. We motivate each other.
Right, but what I'm saying is, y'all, that energy doesn't change on your front line.
No.
You get what I'm saying? It stays consistent, which makes us as fans want to party.
Oh yeah, and I get
some
that.
Some bands don't do that.
And what I'm saying, you know, what I was saying is for me. For me, coming from the R&B side, coming to go-go, because like I said, the first, and I don't think I mentioned the last time, the first go-go band I ever played with was Benny. When watching him, you have no choice but to respect what he does.
Right.
And it motivates you to want to be a part of it, and that's how I look at us. Watching each other, we throwing ideas out there and actually allowing them to kind of manifest and come together and respect it. You know what I mean? So all of that stuff brings an energy that spills over into the crowd. Like for me, it does. Because I knew 808. What the hell? I'm like, what is he doing?
Don't worry about it.
But
You don't have to worry about it.
No, this was
It
2010.
about to say it hit that part of your soul that is so disrespectful. Especially when you can feel it from the speakers and the inside like boom boom. You like
And I dig it, but I'm just saying it was just the education side of it.
you gotta experience it to understand the
I
love
was
for
still
it.
saying 100.
No.
100.
No, you wasn't.
Yeah, she couldn't speak. She couldn't speak.
Saying
when
100
we first came back.
I find the smallest shit to get excited
Just
about.
saying.
Like I was watching her the other day do her thing by herself, and she was doing her thing. And she started rhyming. I said, "What the fuck is Keish?" So you like, "Damn, Keish rhyming. This shit crazy." But then I looked at Pooh. And Pooh over there cranking like nobody's business with some Cartier shades. I said, this nigga got on Cartier
In his own zone.
Hey Slim, I said, man, the shades was so perfectly on his face, ain't even moving. When you listening, you like, ain't nobody doing this with Cartiers on. That I found that to be excited about. Like, man, look at my man there with the Cartiers.
Watching it back to just watching how we enjoy each other, how we enjoy being around each other. Like we actually talk about doing stuff outside of the band. You know what I mean? So that should let you know that not only do we respect each other with what we do, what we bring to the table. We do.
Yeah, we got crabs and shrimp this Sunday.
Oh, that's right.
Wait, excuse me? Pardon?
Pardon? We're putting the crabs and the shrimp out this Sunday.
What time?
We're trying to decipher whether we're going to take it next Sunday.
Don't worry about it.
Next Sunday.
Yeah,
Don't worry about
Sunday
it.
coming up.
Don't worry about it.
Trying to decipher
Our
whether we're
show
going to take
starts
it.
at 7:30, so we needed to start like at 2, so we can still get our life. Cause I work at a seafood restaurant, so the smell don't bother me, but I need to get. Cause we got a hell of a show next week. Speaking of bridging the gap, next week we have a show that I have entitled The Funky Crossover. We will be bringing in Gabby Moe, Bishop King, Black Woodson. You alright over there?
And Bounce Beat Youngin? Oh,
These are
hip
all
hop.
that are also in bands.
That's what's up.
Gabby Moe and Black Woodson are a lit band.
Okay.
Bishop King.
Bishop King, the one band. And who else?
Say Two
Say two.
from Rise. So we're going to bring them in here. We're going to talk about BMI and ASCAP and how difficult it is to work through both. Because I feel like there's a lot of independent artists in go-go who don't know which way to go or which direction to go in, who people really don't know are indie artists. So I wanted to start with that. And then I'm going to do a women's edition, of course.
You gotta bring this dude named Most Official.
Most Official?
Yeah, you want to hear some real showing up good rap music. Bring him, man. And
Most
we're about to
Official.
take a break, man.
I mean, you was taking your mic off.
Oh,
Weren't we all now?
I thought
Stay.
Stay.
You got the CD? You want me to give you the CD so you can crank the CD? Yeah. Crank the CD on, bro. Yeah, let's crank the CD and grab a CD.
I got it.
She's gonna put hers on the thumb drive. Don't worry about it.
Russian,
She already stole it.
Oh, what you got down there, 21st? All that Maryland Avenue is in the building. Always a pleasure, homeboy. All the old heck of Jamal in here. And your side, and your boo. Hey, get in the one-on-one. Showing out to my main man Tony, my main man Scooter in the building tonight, yo. Miss Tony came through. Always a pleasure, homegirl. And your side, hey, well, part two. I need a little of this, say a little of this, a little of this, a little of this. Go that ass, go back, yo. A little of this, a little of this, a little of this. You know that ass, go back, come on. A little of this, a little of this, a little of this. You know that ass, yo. Hey, a little of this, a little of this. And part two, I need the freak of these parts, y'all. Come on. in the building. All the Diva Squad in here. It's Nikki. It's Venus. So good to see that salon couture came to you tonight too, yo. Miss Karen, all the ladies. Yes, sir. Love you so much, Miss Mika, Mr. Sean, all the old dudes, all my homegirls, Miss May and Miss Jelena, yo. Yes, sir. But if it ain't proven, drop down, Bill, hold it down. Always a pleasure, Southside. Shipping out to all my very fine stars, yo. Always a pleasure when you pop through. Oh, that's 17th and W. 640 crew. Party pool. Yeah. Uptown, Southside. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on with it, horse. That pop. All that Billy Pop crew in here, yo. 21st and Maryland Avenue, Montana Avenue. So glad to see you. Yes, sir. If it ain't who, then who, y'all? Wait a minute. Drop down, tighten up. Yeah. Take a break out of birthday, y'all. December the 6th. Good shot, Bob. If it ain't who, then who? Only for me. Swag on 121st. Yeah. My main man Dirt. One more time. Wait a minute. Yeah. Swag on the building, man. Hey, yo, Tom. Free the homie Whitey, yo. Anthony, yeah. We're now B-E-A-T. Give me that beat. Yeah. We gonna let it warm up a little bit, y'all. So glad to see all my Trinidad stars in the building tonight now. Rest in peace to the homie Ill Bill. Oh, give me that beat. Also, I'd like to send one out to my main man Spud. Rest in peace all the time, homie. Also, my main man K Diddy. All the Bellhaven stars in here. Wind this thing up for my Southside crew. All the shrimp boat, my nigga Los, my nigga Steve, and my main man Stone. Yo, we're now give me that beat. Oh, what you got down there now? Damn sure we'll get what you need. As long as my heart bleeds. Wait a minute, give me that. my main man Edge, yo. And yes, sir, and your crew. B-E-A-T. Give me that, give me that. Yes, sir.
Why she can get more than I could get more, Jeff?
You have been tuned in. I'm about to beat Tally up if he don't let me introduce what we were just listening to. You guys were definitely tuned into the sounds of Obsession during our break, guys. You need to get up with one of these band members and get your own copy. Do not ask to borrow mine to make a copy. Hell no. No. Absolutely no. No. Get your own. It's free. Just cost you some time to go grab it. Coming to a hood near you, I'm pretty sure. Get your own damn copy. Your own damn copy. No, remember that? Remember that? No, 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 my brother. You got to get your own.
He used to say that all the time.
You got to get your own. This is mine.
Oh,
This I'm handing on to a DJ. This is mine. This I'm handing on to a DJ. But this,
That's yours.
mine. Where's yours? Oh, all right.
Before for CC.
We have all of the things that we need. You need to get this crank that you need. This unapologetically disrespectful, get that ass obsessed crank. Just saying.
See how free
Nice
it is?
choice of
He gave
word.
me another.
Just
for my
saying.
daughter. That's how free it is. I have 3 copies now. One for Cece, one for my daughter.
Why are you playing with that?
Don't worry about that.
No, definitely gonna work.
She got 3 CDs and 6 bracelets on. She's strong.
I
She happy, man.
I only have 3.
Obsession crowd shit, man.
Somebody
Ain't
stole
those
my other
beautiful?
3. Someone stole my other 3 the first time they were here. Oh, definitely took my motherfucking bracelets.
All right,
Hold on, what you mean?
You read up.
Someone
Someone.
gave them to you, or you
Yeah.
already had them?
No,
These
my
ones.
studios.
Y'all gave
Mine
me-
never made it out of the studio.
The same night? you
The
left?
same night.
You read up.
Look, I was given these 3. These the only 3 I got until today when I got.
Oh, he gave you some today, though?
Yes.
She,
That's
Gigi just took them out of my hands. She
I
was,
specifically
I'm gonna need this
asked
one.
for
I'm gonna
bracelets
need this one.
because
I'm gonna
Nah,
need
we
this.
got something else.
Somebody did me real dirty, and I felt some
We
type
got
of
some
way
on the
about
way.
it.
We
And it's somebody who never went to see Obsession that did it.
We got something else.
Oh, so you know who the panhandler is? Ain't nah.
I definitely know who the look at Gigi. Look at Gigi's face. I definitely know who the panhandler is. Trifling ass.
What color you like? Yellow, purple.
Any color of my shoes.
See, we love the fans. See what I'm saying? See how we do?
I have everything shoes. As long as it's not a small.
If you got
I'm a
medium,
chunky
I'm good.
girl. She's the medium.
I'll take any and every and all colors.
That's going like you.
What color
I'm
you
so excited.
They do go
I like that one.
It goes
With my
with your
shoes.
nails.
I know. I
And it
want
goes with your nails.
the pink on the back of my
Booming
shoe.
the thing
though.
up.
Right.
What's that size?
That's a long.
I'll take.
You what?
ain't got enough.
Well, even more importantly, Gigi actually got me a pair of Adidas, like the one she has on tonight, with this pink in it. I'm going to crank him. Yes. This sounds like a good crank ride outfit.
Absolutely.
How you feel? Like a crank ride?
You sent me a picture of that in her bed the other night. I said, sheesh.
What happened? Say, huh?
Yeah, she had this motherfucker on right here.
Who did what?
I ain't bullshit.
You
Said,
say
baby,
who?
I love you. Whoa.
You said something?
I ain't bullshitting.
Whoa.
That was a little too hot for TV.
I mean, we moving up, dog.
Whoa.
Oh, you moving up?
Moving up is where they going to bed in the kid.
She finna put it on. You finna see.
Yeah.
She finna put it on
Put
camera.
that video on that
Live on
bed.
TV.
Okay.
Live. Reporting live. From them damn stands with them damn fans.
She's just been
Gina
obsessed.
is dressed in front of our guests. Back in
Yeah,
your Bob in the
yeah.
studio.
So you need a video.
It is.
How you do? Yeah.
Tell you about to get beat up over
Like
here.
that.
Don't do it to him. Don't do it to him.
Come on, light skin.
Amelia.
Very low.
She's obsessed.
Oh, she know what's up?
She know.
I'm not getting involved. But I am going to try.
Obsessed is just a broke down version of obsession, y'all.
Listen.
When you see Keith doing her thing by herself
Let me tell y'all
with the
something.
band, that's obsessed.
Let me tell you something. If you have not downloaded, gone to Gigi's page to check out footage, you are robbing yourself of a great experience. Like, no bullshit. We have this conversation all the time about bands that we, like, our 7-show weekend, they were one of the bands we went to see on our 7-show weekend. Like, we made sure we made a way to get there. Like, it was no way we were gonna, that was that, oh my God, that WGN stand. Nigga, we was somewhere every day, I think except Monday. But no, I'm lying, because Monday we would go out to eat and just sit and talk to the people. So we were somewhere every day of the week. Like, it was crank every day of the week. At one point, it was crank 6 out of 7 days of the week. And now we're here. So with us being here, what's next for y'all? What's next?
Well, we had discussions of another project. We're gonna talk.
Don't
talking
say
about
that in front of Gigi and Cece, because they're gonna inbox stalk you until they get music. Call me a lie.
You're a liar.
Am I?
You're a liar.
You can't even say it with a straight face.
You're a bald-faced
Am
liar.
I? Let me pull these chat. Somebody pass me my phone so I can pull this chat up.
You're live.
Oh, that's what I thought. So what's next? So another project.
Another project. We talked a little bit about doing another live, and
Gigi about to kick you under the table.
I'm sorry, babe.
What studio's available, Gigi?
May not look like much, but you know, you put on.
Y'all haven't seen the
great
lives we've done?
lines here.
Have you seen the live?
Yeah.
Y'all had subtle here. Y'all had new impressions here, right?
They haven't done their live
They
yet.
haven't
Coming
done
soon.
Oh,
Hopefully,
Stay tuned.
but yeah,
It's coming.
and those bands put CDs out off of their
Sound quality from
sound
here.
Quality, yeah, absolutely.
that's good.
Look,
More new
you looking
music.
around, so what you want me to tell you? So this table will not be here, okay? I bring Jerry in to do your backline setup. That's already together. All y'all gotta do, plug in, sound check. Your engineer, we set up out there. Camera right there, their camera, crank. It's that easy.
You said, you like movie,
Yeah, the movie. We're still waiting for the movie to come out because of the pandemic shut that movie down. Because one of our original songs made a movie.
I know,
Concrete.
you shared the link,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's we're waiting on that. The new project, the live. We got a couple of show opportunities that have come up. Even today, on the way here, I got a call. So I have to talk to the team about that.
So with those, How did that live stream feel to y'all without a real audience? Like, I know that energy from the crowd, it means something.
You know about that.
It's hard to perform in an empty room.
Absolutely. And what it, as a lead talker, what it does is people be like, man, you ain't shout me out. But you just
I know.
Listen, you revert to what you've been saying for years.
Yes.
Because it's like nobody there. So only thing comes to your mind is
Muscle memory.
And you consistently say that over and over again. So I think, but the live, you know, being as though we was able to sit back and watch everybody else, you know, it was like people had done 2 and 3 lives before we even got on one. So we was able to kind of, you know, gather information from that, sit back and watch. And what we came down to was just be ourselves. Just have fun like we normally do. And let everything else fall where it may. And attack the camera. Like a lot of people was kind of sitting back.
Shout out to Mom.
Yeah, Monty went and got the camera. Yeah.
If the camera wasn't ready for it, she was ready for you.
Right.
And she needed y'all to know what's beef.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, attack the camera, man. And
And
then,
see, her energy doesn't change either.
Listen, they want to know
Her
why
energy
she.
stays consistent too.
Yes.
yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? She doesn't just wait for her moment to get hyped.
But that's because they say
Nah,
she's too
we're
pretty
so
to spit
happy
that
for-
gritty. She is who she is. Like,
she listens to that
I
shit,
don't.
Slim.
I listen to
Hey,
everything.
Slim.
Y'all don't
She
understand.
listens to that shit.
Yes.
You listen to what she- like, I think, like, for us, it's like, we enjoy everybody getting off. Like, when Keisha's getting off, we like, Bread
Go
is
get it,
fanning her
Yes!
and shit. It's like, go get
This
it.
wild lover. This wild lover. This wild lover.
this wild
Listen,
love.
somebody could be spitting the mean 16. I'm coming to pop your car, and you like, wait,
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
And
that's what he do.
It's just,
Energy,
man,
energy, man,
Like I said,
energy.
it was a picture from that night, and it just captured everything. It was like Keith was like in a dance
Yes.
mode. And when I seen that picture, I was like, that's it. That's obsession right there. In a nutshell, that's what we are. We try
That's
to
my
have fun.
favorite picture. from
Yeah,
that night.
yeah,
Yeah.
We try to have fun.
He was like,
Yes. All the
And all of them up there, and I'm in the back.
Yeah.
And that captures the whole thing, because I can't dance a lick. They all got their dance moves and shit going. I can't do
How
none
you
of
a
that. So
black man with no rhythm?
I can two-step, baby. But
Okay.
I can't get
You heard
into
that
what
bite.
they get into.
You know what I specialize off of, just by coming from the old school go-go and the now, is the fact that I ain't gonna let nobody outwork me when it comes to showmanship. So when I see the other band is starting to get into it, I'm usually always into it like the spark plug, but when you're not doing anything on the mic no more, this is the part that a lot of bands fail at. You gotta still be doing something.
Oh, like break out into the matrix.
You gotta be, well, that's, yeah.
You gonna let him have his
But-
moment? Oh, you gonna let him have his moment? You gonna let him have
You
his
can
moment?
take
Hey,
them back
nah.
to the MAB, huh?
But you gotta give them something else, because after you rap and sing, what else can you do? What else are you doing? You gotta captivate the people and be like, man, you know what? All he was doing all night, after he did that little part, he just kept on sliding across the front line. This is something that they can remember. So I always try to bring that type of energy and be that spark plug with the band.
Definitely bring
Because
Don't you do it. Don't do it. We not gonna do it. We not. Because that's Everett was scared of us then. He was worried about us, like, oh my God, I don't know. They online, they going up. We were not. We said no names. It's still my favorite show of y'all. Still my favorite. That is still my favorite.
Most memorable.
Yes. That's when I knew that she was a mother. Because she
You
gave
get a
him
pass. It
that
was your
mother
birthday.
look. You gave him that
It was
mother
your
look.
birthday. It's a
Yeah,
pass.
listen. You're not supposed to remember your birthdays.
yeah, I was kind of telling you something that you didn't know around that
Yeah,
time.
he's
I
had
had
a lot of
lost
losses.
November,
He's had a lot of losses.
December, and January, I had lost father, sister, and then grandfather. My sister's my cousin, but I lost them all within a 3-month span, and I was dealing with grief in a different way. Just so happened I was in the spotlight, so you know.
You're a human.
Yeah, but I'm now
But
I'm human.
It's still one of the best nights we've ever had out. It is.
It wasn't a negative.
No.
No.
Listen, that show what a real family is. Cause it's like that one brother don't do it, and then the mother like, nigga, get your shit together before I two-piece you. And then the big brother like, yeah, we just want to usher you out real quick. And then he see that opportunity and jump back in, and he tapped Monty. He was like, this what you finna do. Hey, Keisha, you doing this? Hey, this what you gonna do. And he walked him off all calm. And then the crank never stopped. It was seamless. Like, if you were not right there where we were watching it, you would have never known. You would have never known. But it was a great night for us because we got to see a different side of y'all.
To my man credit, from that point on, though, he's been A1.
Yeah.
Ain't no more walking on stage. He
No more
is
double
what he
dutch
say he is,
jumping.
yeah.
I mean, I think the reason why it went so smooth because we are family.
That's
You
what
know,
I
we're
said.
not a bunch of different musicians that's been hired to play together at a show.
Like a lot of
And
bands.
that transpired in the energy of the live because we were apart for so long. Then I got sick and then got better and we got better the live. So it
And
was
we prayed for
all
you
that
the
positive
entire
energy.
time you were down. We definitely prayed for you because we knew what you meant to this unit and what this unit means to you. And
Ain't shit without he.
I can't think any further than that. Like I never thought any further than that. All I kept thinking was, I'm waiting for this nigga to make I Got Well soon. I Got Well video. Like, when is this coming? Like, when do we get to see this so we can see that people actually survive what they're saying is killing so many? Like, it's somebody that we can tangibly touch and reach out to and talk to because it's different to watch other people go through.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing for us. But before we go, it's so sad our time is up. We suck.
That's in his time.
Always.
Ain't alive.
Definitely rest in peace, Tony Rez. That's my little cousin's father. Yeah.
Rest in
His-
peace, Tony Rez.
His daughter,
No
his
question.
daughter that drew the T-shirt that everybody's buying, Anaya Love. That is my little cousin. So,
And the
and
Lemio
yeah,
that was killed.
she's had a rough one too. She lost her grandfather less than 6 months ago, and then her dad. So her mom is dealing with the loss, the grief of losing her father, and she's trying to help her daughter deal with the grief of losing her grandfather and her father in less than a 6 month time.
I know that
So,
feeling, Joe.
yeah. But from each one of y'all, because you're fans before your performance, what does Go-Go need right now from a fan's perspective?
What does Go-Go need?
Yes. You don't want to ask me this, because I'm running down.
You
Yeah,
don't
that.
think we only got
Yeah, that is.
First, Tally,
Don't
Keith.
worry, I'll
Who
go
first?
live later.
You first, shoot.
Me first, Go-Go. What Go-Go need is all the DJs that got this album need to play it. That's what the hell Go-Go need.
DJ's the play obsession, okay?
Yeah.
Let me write that down. I'm going to pass this off to a DJ, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
What's the question again?
What go on need?
What, as a fan,
As a fan? New faces.
Is it?
As a fan,
what do you want to see?
I would like to see two things. Up and comers given a chance, and for a lot of the area things to start creating not more of a united front. I would like to see that.
Upcoming bands a chance in you.
Word.
I'd like to see a lot more of camaraderie within the go-go, so-called go-go community. You know, where it's a lot of bias in politics, which kind of dividing a lot of the so-called go-go bands. And it's like, it's kind of like a smokescreen, but everybody really don't want to address the issues. But we have to address the issues if we want to get to that next level. But it's so much politics. It's so much politics and there's so much bias. And until we can get past that part, we kind of running into a burning house. But I still think it's hope. I just think that some people may have to
They need a catalyst to make that change,
Yeah.
and it has to be received.
Yeah, you're right. I think some people have to pride us in a way on a lot of this.
Oh,
It all
yeah.
balls in that. You know Proverbs, right? What does it say? Pride comes before destruction.
It comes before the fullness.
Right. We gotta sometimes say, well, you know what? If it's gonna keep this thing going, maybe let us pull them up and bring us to where we at. So when we going out, we got somebody to keep us going. But if you got one band, one or two, three, four bands, it's right there, and they fall off, and you wasn't able to bring them up, now you have an identity crisis where they be like, you ain't really been seeing them, and nah, you've been seeing them already because they've been already been playing with this band, this band, this band. They've been kind of, but they gotta receive it. But I just think the politics of it is kind of messes it up. The politics and the bias, the internet. We got the internet now. It's different.
Yeah, you too.
So.
Don't you look at me like that.
Just so y'all know, in case some of y'all bands don't know, my YouTube channel is not monetized. I do not make a cent off of any go-go bands on my channel. I do it for the love of the culture. That's it. That's all. I could monetize
Ma'am,
it.
we're at 10:30. We got to get his in, and
But I'm
then,
not.
and then we have to get
Just so
off
you
the
know.
air.
Man, add that unapologetic crank to the mixture. That's what it needs. Put it in there. Put it in that gumbo. Put that unapologetic crank in the gumbo and pass the torch. Let TJ, I keep saying TJ because that's who I listen to. New Impressions and all of the bounce beat bands. Let them in, man. TMB, ABM, welcome them in.
Ambition.
Pass the torch, teach them whatever they need to be taught in order to move it on, because the older people can't, the older people has to pass the torch. At the end of the day, like I said, and put unapologetic crank in that stew, man. It need a sprinkle of obsession in that stew. Yeah, sprinkle that obsession in that stew.
One thing, this is the one thing to the 11-year-old that was shot and killed from the straight bullet. We need to stop the violence. My band, we always gonna be a supporter of non-violence. We always gonna have our hearts that goes out to these people.
Turn itself in. Let's be
Yeah,
clear.
this cold thing is messed
called
up.
accountability.
We dying left and right, and I think it's important. That's why I wanted to say it, because we gotta stop. The violence is romping all of us. When I see one of them 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, whoever, I look at them as my son. I look at them as my daughter. We gotta stop it. That's the one I want to shout out to. The prayers go out to the family that lost, which I know, that lost an 11-year-old boy that played football with my family.
Mine
So
too.
they going through it, and we gotta stop this, man. It's really it's sickening, man.
All right, ladies and gents, we definitely have to say thank you to the band that sang. We're closing out. We definitely have to say thank you to the band that we're definitely obsessed with. Like, I don't have no cut cards. You can't tell me I can only have one favorite, because I have 70 different foods that are all my favorite, depending on my mood. 70 different genres of music that are all my favorite, depending on my mood. 70 different lipsticks that are all my favorite, depending on my mood. Like, you're not gonna make me choose. But I will tell you this: their crank is undeniable. It is unapologetically disrespectful. And you can lie to yourself if you want to. But the proof is in the crank. And they got it. Can't duck the rough. We definitely want to thank them for coming into the studio with us. We're glad that you are here with us.
Glad to be here.
Listen.
No doubt about it.
And congratulations
Yeah.
on your
Schwartz?
yes.
Yes.
We are
Yes.
super
Yes.
duper
Absolutely.
excited. We got the light skinned one to kick it with us today.
Telly tale.
Oh, hey light skin.
Yeah.
Hey light skin.
He kick it, but he don't kick it. He be over there in this. Anyways.
I can't get involved in
I
y'all
got the
little
girl right
y'all little situation.
More original music, y'all.
Yeah.
We going back into the studio here.
They ain't
shortly.
going back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not playing, man.
Like
It's
Puffy
not
said,
a
don't
game.
stop, won't stop. We got work to do.
Oh.
It's not a game. We lifetime committed to this shit.
Oh.
Lifers.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna move it, baby.
I'm not.
Lifetime
Y'all
committed
keep getting on
to
my
this
nerves.
shit,
I'm
baby.
definitely quitting go-go.
Look
I'm gonna take my talents elsewhere.
at that. Look at that. She upset.
I am. I don't have no cut cards. But I got
Pink crown and all.
Nah, man. You ain't quitting us. You
I don't know. I don't feel valued in this community. Y'all don't want to get on this
Hey,
community. That's
look
another-
out for the movie.
Another show.
Shit,
True Love.
True Love.
True
Movie
Love.
True Love.
Yeah.
We have a new release
Concrete.
date?
Not yet.
Not
It's
yet.
been at the. It's in at the.
They're
South
negotiating.
by Southwest.
Yeah.
We thought they was gonna let it go on Netflix while we was in the recession, but I believe that they think that it's a bigger movie than Netflix, so they trying to wait to put it
Well,
actually.
shoot, a lot of movies
Always.
are doing on demand and still paying at movie theater price.
Always in God's timing.
It is.
And according
We've been saying the
to
same
his
thing.
plan.
We've been saying the
Delayed
same
does
thing.
not mean denied. It just means that God is delaying it until you can get the things that He needs you to get out of it. Y'all don't want me to start preaching in here.
And the check has been cut, so the song is in the movie. There ain't no take back. on it.
There's a guarantee on that one.
So the song is in the movie. There ain't no take back on that. Man, make sure you go watch it when it come out. True Love, Obsession, Concrete, right in there.
Make
Okay.
sure you hit up one of the band members and get this motherfucking crank in your system. Listen, thumbs up. Of course, that one BB cranking like what, GG? Oh!
Cranking like,
She wore her dance moves with it. She wore her dance moves. You put your purple shirt on, your dance moves came out. Oh, you obsessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. We was told one time that BB cranking like wasn't cranking no more.
You know what?
We done revamped that motherfucker, y'all.
Let me tell you something. If you think
We
that
went
beat
back
don't
and
be
revamped
cranking,
it, man.
we know you lying. We know you don't know what crank really is. But make sure you hit D up for all things lifers.
Absolutely.
Listen,
We like
face
time
masks,
committed to it, baby.
sweatsuits, t-shirt, dresses. Like, hit them. He'll get you together.
Let me get that time.
Make sure you
Look
hit
at
any of the band members. And I cannot wait. I can't wait to get these Adidas and put it beside this shirt.
Make
and
sure you
send
post
him
that
the picture
too.
of this work.
Yeah, anybody send pictures,
Yes,
send them to D.
you already know. Listen.
I don't need to get killed.
Shout out, also, shout out to
Send it to
the
D
Wizard
or
himself,
tell it.
our sponsor. Without him, none of this would be possible. Of course.
Absolutely.
The Wizard himself.
Shout out to y'all.
Thank you for all of the love and support. I already did, sir. No, you chill. If these, that's what's wrong with Go-Go. They won't let me work. Anyway.
Nah, she told me, Mom, that she was gonna meet me at some point.
He got you. You just be patient. You know.
Some beef.
This dude is out of control. Like he don't
y'all
trust
are
me.
both out of control.
No, he kicked it off. I was just thinking so we could wrap
I be
it up.
fucking around. I ain't really out of control. I be fucking around.
You do not gonna fight right.
I don't want no trouble.
Listen, thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Make sure you go download the link. If you can't download the link and you're an old head like me who needs this, hit them up. They're out and about. They will tell you where to meet them at. They have pushed how many CDs in the hands already?
And it was at the
400.
Applebee's.
400.
Yeah, we was.
I
do
missed that
again,
because
too.
I did the pop-up. However,
I missed it because I didn't have a ride.
don't worry about it. Don't worry.
But I got it now.
Don't worry about
Coming
it.
in tomorrow when we find out.
About
We
to
gonna
say.
keep doing another 200. Want to come get it?
Them
Hey,
damn
look, my
fans,
father was
them
just
damn
looking at this.
fans,
He talking.
them damn fans might
My
come hang
father
out
just
with y'all.
texted me.
Father?
Hey,
hey, Dad.
here in Alabama.
Hey,
He looking
Dad.
at this.
Hey, Dad. Thank you
Hey,
for
Pop,
tuning
what's
in.
up, man?
I hope you're obsessed.
He's a pastor too.
Hallelujah.
Oh, sorry.
Look, you saw me about to get into my word, but I can't do that.
Pastor
I can't
Kenneth
play with
Barbie.
God.
That's my dad.
Pastor Kenneth Bobby, thank you. May God's
What's
blessings
up, Pop?
walk before you and cover everything that is connected to you.
Don't judge the words that came out of my mouth. I'm sorry.
It's over. There's no
Nah, he
apologies.
get it.
You
My
are who you
father,
are.
he get it.
He gave birth to a gangster. You know. All right, ladies and
Yo.
gentlemen.
He
Thank
wasn't
y'all.
always a pastor himself.
Ooh.
God got him, saved him, and then he turned it into something.
Thank you, D.E. Sally, my boo Keith, and Mr. Bread himself. He's about to start a fast. Y'all pray for him. Pray for him on this fast because we don't know what he's giving up. But God's got him. Thank y'all for coming and kicking it with us in these damn stands with these damn fans. Y'all stay tuned for a crank ride coming soon.
Yeah, put that crank ride on for this place.
Thumbs up for the homies I'm down with. Thumbs up for the homies I roll with. Thumbs up for the ladies I'm down with. Thumbs up for the ladies I roll with. Thumbs up for the homies I'm down with. Thumbs up for the homies I roll with. Thumbs up for the ladies.
Yo, well that's one more time, Fred.
Thumbs up for the homies I'm down with. Thumbs up for the homies I roll with. Thumbs up for the ladies I'm down with.
Yeah.
Thumbs up for the ladies I roll with.
Hey, Bryce C.
Thumbs up for the homies I'm down with. Thumbs up for the homies I roll with.
Hey, Papa Pop.
Thumbs up for the ladies.
Yo, we get the thumbs in the air. Let the party warm up a little bit out there Southside. Showing out to my main man Dern. Also my main man Scooter came through. Keep it coming up session. Yes sir. Also I'd like to showing out to all that 640 crew. All that 4th Street came through here tonight too, yo. Main man Taz. Showing out to my main man Fats. All the Beyond Gunner, yo. And yes sir. Keep it where you got it. Keep it coming up session. All that Calvert County in the building, yo. Giving out to all that Sixers Road. Always a pleasure, homeboy. Yes, sir. Main man Cordell. All night long, homie. Let me talk to him, y'all. Come on. Step out on the corner with my blocks of rocks. Drama covers my hood for blocks and blocks. Seen a homie that I hang with. I hit him up with the Deuce Thug thing shit. Back then it came with the love. And niggas wasn't tripping over scratch. We took turns and we both stacked stacks. And if you had a customer, you had him for life. Cause he the true hustler. Granted you're right. If we go to stack cheese, then we gotta get along. And he who disagrees, then we gotta get him blown. And ain't no squabbing these days, some niggas for the tech. And ain't no squabbing these days, some niggas for the. And when they find you, they sending you the immortal ground. Ain't no coming back from this shit. You going down, now you finished with the quickness.